Greetings, go-getters. It's Chris here from Escape the Rat Race, and it's less than 1 week now until I fly out to Lisbon with Laura. And thank you so much for all of your kind words, your likes and your comments on the video that I posted up in the Escape the Rat Race group a couple of weeks ago. I think it was a bit of a false alarm for some of you. You've all been saying, oh, how's Lisbon? I didn't actually head off straight away. Obviously, I had the meetup event last week in London, which I still had to host. And this coming Sunday, I've got the final Escape the Rat Race Discovery Day, which I'll be running before heading off to Lisbon next Monday. So I just want to quickly run through like some of the steps that I've implemented in the last 2 years, which have enabled me to now build the business up to a level where I can travel to Lisbon and spend 6 months of the year working from Portugal and still running the business. So I know a lot of you are aspiring to be in a situation where you've got freedom to travel, freedom to work the hours that you want, to work when you want. Obviously the financial aspect as well, to generate enough income so that you can leave your full-time job, or so that you can have extra money. You know, maybe you don't want to leave your job. Maybe you just would love to have some more available funds to do more things, buy nicer things. Completely your choice, whatever it is for you. But for me, the freedom, the travel, the lifestyle is really a driver. You know, we talk about purpose and passion. Well, for me, actually, the material things are not so important. You know, I'm not driven so much by having, you know, the latest car and the biggest house. For me, it's the lifestyle. It's working when I want, with the people that I want, and having those choices. So let me share this with you. Would you like to be your own boss, work from anywhere, and not have your income be dependent on the hours you put in? So if that's you, then you're probably in the 80% of people who currently don't like their job. And that's a pretty scary stat. And I always share that at the beginning of the meetups because it just, I think it's crazy that we would go through the motions, getting up every morning, going on that commute, whether it's, you know, on a squashed, packed train or sitting in a traffic jam, and just really kind of like not enjoying it. And I've been there, you know, so I totally get it. I totally know what it's like. And I know that it's a big, scary decision to suddenly say, okay, well, I'm going to change that. You know, I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to quit my job. What am I going to do next? And that's the question, isn't it? If you're not going to do this, what's it going to be? And partners, husbands, wives, are they going to support you? You know, you suddenly say, okay, I'm jacking it all in. Okay, who's going to pay the mortgage? Who's going to pay the school fees? You know, where's the money coming from? So it's a huge gamble for a lot of people. I totally understand that. So with Escape the Rat Race, what we've been doing over the last 2 years is helping people first and foremost get really clear about what it is that you want. You know, if you're not going to work in your job, you better be pretty damn passionate about what it is that you're going to start up, because there's going to be some real struggles along the way. I'm not going to lie, you know, the last 2 years have been full-on hard work. And when I left my job back in the end of 2014, I embarked on a new path, and I thought I was going to be building a property, you know, massive property business, and that didn't work out in the way that I thought it was going to go. But sometimes you just have to take these steps. You have to try things out, and they're not always going to work out. It's not always going to be the end result that you might expect when you start. But I think the important thing that any business owner, entrepreneur will say is that if you don't take that first step, then you're never going to know. You're never going to find out. So my question to you is, when are you going to take that first step? Because if you haven't yet, then today is the best time to begin. And if you've already taken that step, if you're already building a business and you've already worked out what it is you want to do, what you're passionate about, what you're really good at, then great. I want to help you. I want to help support you and make that happen quicker for you. And the steps which I've been taught and I've put into practice over the last 2 years, which I now can share with you because I know what works and I know what doesn't work. And sometimes knowing what doesn't work and what not to do is more important, because there's no lack of information out there. All right. What we're lacking is direction. So my mission is helping you to find your path to your true potential. If you haven't yet unlocked what your true potential is, then you might be interested in coming along on Sunday to the final Discovery Day. I've already said I'm moving to Lisbon next Monday. Myself and my partner Laura here, you can see in the picture, have both got businesses that we can run predominantly online now. Yes, I will be coming back to London for 3 or 4 days each month throughout the summer because I need to run my meetups and I want to run my meetups. I love doing that. And that's the important thing. I have the choice. Built the business now so that I have choices. I can do what I want when I want. And moving to Lisbon and enjoying the sunshine and being able to work on my business online and still connect with everybody who's in the Escape the Rat Race community, as well as connecting with lots and lots of new people now out in Lisbon and building a whole new network is so exciting. And I just couldn't have even imagined that 2 years ago. But it shows that it is possible. And it shows that it can happen really quickly when you get super focused. So Jim Rohn is one of my favorite personal development authors, speakers, philosophers. Unfortunately, Jim passed away a few years ago now. But this is one of his most famous quotes, certainly one that stuck in my head and I absolutely love, is that you can work hard on your job and you can make a living, or you can work hard on yourself and make a fortune. So ponder over that for a second. And I know that it's taken me just over 2 years by setting up my own business to generate the same amount of money that I spent 17 years in a job building up to. If I hadn't have left my job and I was still there now, I maybe would have got a slight raise, but nothing more than that. I know now that my business can grow exponentially. Every year, in fact every month, I can increase the return. I can increase my profits because it's 100% down to me. And that control, you can't buy that. We talk about job security, but we all know that jobs are becoming less and less secure as every year passes. How secure is your job? How do you know that tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, that job's still going to be there for you? And I don't want to scare you, but the statistics don't lie. And we saw in the last recession that so many of the banks were shedding thousands of people. And even now, you see it in the newspaper almost every week. We know that technology is advancing at a rapid rate. We know that artificial intelligence is really picking up speed. We know that robots are coming in. We know that there's going to be driverless cars on the roads very soon. Lots of traditional jobs that exist today are simply not going to exist in the next 3 to 5 years. So you better do something to make sure that you're not going to be left out hanging high and dry because you haven't got the skills or you haven't already taken some action to think about what you could do. What you can deliver to the world that's of value? What do you love doing? What are your skills? What are you great at? These are all questions you need to start thinking about. And these are all the questions I'm going to be teasing out of you at this coming Sunday's Discovery Day. There's the details for Sunday. It's the 14th of May. It's at the Holiday in Bloomsbury. And it's all about helping you to find your path to your true potential. And there are steps to follow, steps that I have followed myself. And I know that they work and I want to share them with you. I genuinely, passionately want to help you to get clear about the right path ahead. The path might look a little bit like this for you at the moment because there's no shortage of information out there. In fact, there's too much. We're bombarded with seminars, with webinars, with free downloads. Everywhere you look, there's 7 steps to this and, super guides on that. There's no shortage of information. The question is, what's the direction? Because that's what we're lacking. We're lacking a clear blueprint, a clear roadmap or a flight path. That's what we need. And it took me a while to work it out because this genuinely was how it looked for me when I started out. And I've taken most of those paths over the last 2 years, as many of you know. And it was only when I started to say less and understood myself more, and with the help of mentors, the path became clear. And once the path is clear, then that's when you get focused. And then that's when you start to see results. And the results can come very quickly. So if money was no object, what would you love to do? Would you still turn up to your job each day? If you walked into your job tomorrow and your boss said, "Oh, hey, you love your work, but we're just really short of cash, and yeah, we're not going to be able to pay you anymore. So still want you to turn up each day and still do all the work, but just not going to be able to pay you. Is that okay?" I don't think it is okay. You probably wouldn't turn up tomorrow, would you, if you knew that you weren't going to get paid? But what about when you start your own business? Because you're probably not going to get paid from day one when you start your own business. And in fact, it could take 6 months until you start getting some money. Hopefully not that quick. And my objective is to help you start making money within your first 3 months, because there's now steps which I wish I'd have known at the beginning, but if you follow them, then we'll help you get really focused really quickly, start getting your first customers, and then start getting paid. And that's so exciting. When you get your first customer and your first paying customer, then that's when it begins. So if money was no object, what would you love to do? Big question. And this is another diagram that we'll be looking at on Sunday and really diving into every aspect of this, because it's so important. Because we hear of people saying, follow your purpose, follow your passion. That's a pretty big question for a lot of people. What's your why? I struggle with that. What's your why? I don't know. Something drives me inside. It's hard to put your finger on it. So it's all good loving something, but you may love doing something, but if you're not actually very good at it, then are people going to pay you for that information? Are people going to pay you to teach them how to do that? Because if you're not very good and you're not able to demonstrate that to others, then there's a bit of a lack of value. And when there's a lack of value, then there's not much exchange of money. So you've got to be great at it. You've got to love it. But then importantly, are there other people who also want to know and buy those things from you? Are there people to teach? Are there people to sell to? Is there a hungry market? Because with no market, there's no money. And we'll go through understanding who your customer is, because it all begins actually with the customer. So find out what it is you love doing, but then find out very quickly that there is a demand, there's a need, that people out there have a problem that you can solve. Super, super important. I've seen many people spend months and months building a website, building a product, getting everything perfect, and then actually realizing there's no one out there to buy it because their marketing sucks or because they haven't done the research to find out. I'm not going to let you make that mistake. And it's an exciting process going out and finding this stuff out. Really, really is. Finally, are you going to get paid? Because a business lives and dies by cash flow. If there's no money coming into your business, you're simply not going to be able to continue going on. So generating money and generating income quickly is super important. And again, we're going to help you to put your blueprint together on Sunday to realize, is there a demand for what it is that you love doing, and how you're going to get paid, how much you're going to get paid, how quickly are you going to get paid? And it all begins with you. So yes, you've got to make sure there's a market, but you've got to make sure that you love what you do first and foremost. And for those of you that know me well, you'll know that Wealth Dynamics is central to everything that I do with our members and all of our business mentoring members who are on the 12-month coaching program. All have taken Wealth Dynamics tests and all understand what gets them into flow, which activities help them perform at their peak. And you'll see here there's 8 entrepreneurial profiles. You will be one of these 8. We all are one of the 8 entrepreneurial profiles, and we all have a natural genius within us. So there's things that we're great at doing, and sometimes we don't necessarily realize that. And we also need to make sure we've got the right people in our team. So this is going to help you build your entrepreneurial team. And I tell you what, you will be so pumped and excited when you truly understand the value of this. And as a special gift for everyone that comes this Sunday to the Discovery Day, I'm actually going to be giving away a free token to take the Wealth Dynamics test, which is worth £69 on its own. So you're going to get that absolutely free. That's less than what I'm charging to come along on the Discovery Day. So you're going to get incredible value from that day. Once we've worked out what your natural genius is, what gets you into flow, then we're going to look at all the elements that go into the perfect business model. Now, this is the perfect business model that I have followed to build Escape the Rat Race to a level now where it affords me the freedom of time and choice and finance to be able to travel to Lisbon and work from abroad. So if you want to know how to build your business in the same way, then you need to understand what these steps are, and you need to understand how to implement them and in the right order and at the right time, and what they mean and how to measure them. How to be great at marketing. What channels of marketing are you going to need to put in place for your business? What's your brand going to be? Because brand is so much more than just a logo and a website. What's your unique selling proposition? Why are you so great? And why is someone going to buy from you when there's a massive crowded market out there? How are you going to set up your finances? How are you going to make sure cash is coming into the business? What's your sales strategy? I'm going to share with you the 5-step sales formula. Your processes, because you need to build your business almost like a franchise. You need to think from the beginning, if I wasn't in this business, would it still run without me? Because that's Robert Kiyosaki's definition of a business, is when you go on holiday for 3 months and you come back, do you still have a business? Because for most entrepreneurs, they are wearing all these hats at the same time. So if the entrepreneur's not there working, then the business isn't working. But that's not what we're striving for, is it? We're striving for a life of freedom with more time to go off and do the things that we want and to make money, to have passive income. So we need processes in the business. And this is where we have, the ability to employ virtual assistants now for very, very reasonable rates and allow us to build our business and generate money, which gives us time to go and do the things that we really want in life. Because building a business, really the ultimate goal surely is just to allow you to have the life that you want, is it not? Are you building a business so that you can just work on the business 24 hours a day? I don't think so. I think the business is an asset, and an asset that generates money so that you can do the things you want. So there you have it. The date on here is not the 4th. It should be the 14th, which is this coming Sunday. And it's going to be 9:30 till 4:30. It's the last business discovery day that I'm going to be running for 2 months, because I'm going to Lisbon on Monday following this. So I'm going to be giving 110%. I'm so looking forward to this because I want to help you find your true potential. And I have been through 2 years of figuring out how things work. I've figured it out now, and I want to share that with you. Please book your ticket, take some action, take that first step. And if you've got a business and it's not quite operating at the level you want right now, come along, because we'll go through and we'll find out where the gaps are, and we'll plug in a sales strategy. We'll look at your marketing. I can go through this with you, and I can connect you to the right people, because over the last 2 years, I've built up a database of some very, very strong contacts in all areas. Whether you need websites, whether you need help with your mindset, whether you need help building property businesses, whether you want to learn to trade, online, Amazon, e-commerce, whatever you need, I have the contacts to help you get there. So there you have it. The Business Discovery Day, this coming Sunday. I'm so looking forward to seeing you there, and you can register your ticket right now by clicking the link beneath this video or within this email. I'll see you there.